I am back in a place where I remember as a kid growing up, coming down with my grandmother and granddaddy down to the creek when I'd stay with them during the day while my parents worked. So this is just a small creek that runs through some family property. And my wife and I actually have made a start here about 10 years ago. We bought a mobile home, set it up on this property, you know, and life changes. You know, you've got to adapt with things going on around you. There were a lot of circumstances outside of our control, but then also our family was growing, and, you know, it just wasn't going to be a suitable environment to try to raise a family on the budget that we had at the time. So, but I have frequented this place often over the years, going fishing. Hopefully we can find our way down to the water today. We're going to see what's biting, and we're going to do a 1 bait, 1 rod, 1 hour challenge. And the choice of bait for today is cricket. We've got I don't know how many crickets are in this tub. Hopefully fish are biting good enough. We'll lose them all. Which obviously with crickets, you know, I'm looking mostly for bluegill, red ear sunfish, long ear sunfish, green sunfish, whatever we come up with. But now you never know. In a small creek where, you know, the deep holes are few and far between, if you cast in the right spot and the fish are hungry, you never know what you're going to pull up. And that's what I love about fishing. So stick with me. I'm going to get my gear together. We'll head down to the water. Working my way down, I was kind of surprised to see that looks like the grass has been cut back and a nice trail down here. I think some of my cousins and extended family have kept this place up a little bit. That's nice. But this is kind of my first view walking down here. Yeah, so we got, you know, there's a few holes. I'm actually not going to go much closer up to the water than right here because there's a brush top behind that leaning tree, and so usually I already see a brim. I don't think you can see it, but I see a brim right under the water between those two trees right down on the edge of the water. I like to get my first few casts in before I walk up there and spook all the fish. First cast out, we didn't catch a fish, so it doesn't really matter, but it is 3:11, so we're going to start this contest. It's 3:11, and we are going to give it 1 hour with this rod, this bait, and that's all we're going to use. Now we're going to give it another little cast out here. Ah, missed him. We're gonna put it back in there and see what happens. May give it a little bit longer this time. That one jerked about half the cricket off. Give it a slow reel. One just hit it and I could actually see him under the water. And the reason he hit it and darted off is because he got what he wanted. This water is super shallow and super clear in this area. So here's what I'm going to switch to, which is a slightly shorter hook than what I'm using. This is a bait holder hook, size 6. Bait holder hook we're fixing to tie on. I'll show you real quick how I tie those. If you've watched my other videos that have came out where I do show, you know, how I tie my catfish hook on, I use the exact same knot. So what I got my line doubled over. I have no idea if you can see that, but I doubled my line over. I'm going to stick that bend in the line straight through the eye of the hook. Try to keep you on screen here. We're going to loop it over and under, and then we're going to take that small loop we just made, and we're going to put it back over our hook, just like that. Cinch that knot down. Kind Got a little bit of a tag end left over right here, and we're going to take a knife, clip that off, and I'm also going to slide my weight down a little further closer to the hook. All right, we're going to put him on kind of similar to the other ones. This one's a little more lively. So the difference I'm expecting this time, a little bit different style hook, and also a little bit better controlled cast because my weight as well as my bait are up a little bit closer to the end of my rod. So I'm going to send that out there. Just a little splash. I got something tugging at it right now. Trying to give him a chance to get that hook. And stole my cricket again. I'll turn a little bit where I can cast the opposite way. Got a lot of brush out there, got a lot of trees. Leaning over high branch or low branches, so whoop, fish on, fish on, fish on. Nice, nice. So the difference that the thing that I changed that time is going to be that I kind of threaded my cricket on to keep him from biting his backside and pulling him off. But that, if I'm not mistaken, is a long ear sunfish. We're going to let him go. All right, let's try for another one. All right, so I'm just going to show you that slight change I made on how I rigged the cricket last time and caught that what I believe is a long ear sunfish. So basically I came in behind this plating on the back of his neck again, just like I had been, but rather than running it directly out the other side, I'm just going to run that up his back, hook out the back side. Now he's up on the hook a little bit better. Send it out the way we did a while ago. Can't get another one. We're kind of in some brush right there. Fish hit just when my cricket hit the water. And oh, he took it and ran. I've still got my cricket though. We're gonna put it right back out. He took it and ran. He just didn't get on the hook good. We're gonna try this spot just a few more casts. Then I'm gonna move around that tree to some deeper water, see what we can't get. Definitely put that, whoop, whoop, fish, fish, fish on, fish on. What do we got here? Well, if we can get the hook out of his mouth. All right, hook's out. I'm gonna say, just with some of the blue coloration on that guy, that's probably also a long ear, but he's a little bitty guy, which makes me feel better about our hook size. You know, if one that small can get on, it's just a matter of the fish being hungry enough to take it. And we've been here about 10 or 15 minutes, so we're gonna put that line back over there. Little hit there, but I was coming over a little stump I could see in the water, and I definitely did not want to get hung up on that. I'm going to try to put my line a little bit further out. I hope you guys can see any of this because, whoop, whoop, nice one, fish on. No, 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 you got me wrapped up. Oh, no. Left the cricket on, we're going to send it right back out there. Send it back out there about where that last one hit. And we're going to bring him in a little faster this time, try to keep him getting wrapped up. Giving it a minute to sit on the bottom, see if something gets it. The water elevation in this creek changes a lot when the reservoir several miles up from here is letting out water or not letting out water. So you get that fluctuations. You know, during the spring they're draining the reservoir out, preparing for all the rainfall, and so, or during the winter, excuse me, they'll start draining it out. It'll be flooded where I'm standing now. You won't even be able to get down here. And then, you know, this time of year they shut it off for all of your boat fishermen and reservoir fishermen, so that they have, whoop, so that they have a you know, recreation up on the lake, which leaves a lot of shallow holes down here. I did switch to a bobber rig. This is a slip bobber with a insertable bobber stop on the bottom. Just a quick tech tip: always put your bobber stop in on the underside of the float. That way when you're casting, if it's on top like this and your line's on the bottom, a lot of times when you cast, your line will get hung up on the top of it, especially if it's sticking out a good ways, and it can cause your line to foul in the water. So just pay attention. You got to be looking at your line. You can't just be looking somewhere else. You got to pay attention to not only your bobber, but your line and everything else that's going on. So we're going to try this again. I'm seeing there's a bass right there under the water. I might try to get some footage of him in a minute. Well, folks, I just stepped right on top of a snake that took off when I stepped, and I did not even see him, but I seen the grass parting about 10 yards up ahead of me. All right, so we're going to bring that on up. We'll cast down a little bit, and I have caught them further down the bank, but again, I'm not going down there where I know there's a snake, so we're just going to cast out. Have no idea the depth we need to be at right now, but again, I do see my cricket, so he's not dropping down very far. We may want to move that bobber up the line a little bit. We got a fish on the bobber rig. Bobber set up, we're letting it drift, and looks like another long ear, except he doesn't look like he has a long ear. Now, I tell you what, if I'm naming these, let me know what you think that guy is. Let me get him out of the direct sunlight. Beautiful fish. Anyway, we'll let him go, and I still see a bass swimming around down there. I just found out both my boots leak water. Yeah. Well, folks, I ain't gonna lie to you. We got about 15 minutes left of this challenge, but I, in my camera setup, managed to let my reel go into the water, and since then it is being a nightmare, or has been a nightmare, trying to reel. So I don't know how the rest of this is going to go, because the handle doesn't seem to want to turn. I took the spool off, you know, obviously killing time doing that, just like talking to the camera right now, but took the spool off to try to see if I could figure out anything going on. But for now it's not looking too good, because the reeling action is awful. Like, it's just hung up, kind of like when you get your line wrapped around the end of your rod and it just don't want to turn. That's what I got going on. Lots of takes, lots of small fish. See what we can get on the line here at crunch time. Man, he kept the bobber under the water, but man, this reel is dragging, so we're going to be taking it apart. Good night, it doesn't even want to turn. This is terrible. Look, I have never had an issue out of this reel. I love this reel. This is a Shimano Sedona. I thought it was a 2000 model. It is a C3000, Shimano Sedona 3000. I love this reel. I got it on sale at Academy a couple of years ago around Christmas time, and I love it. A few more minutes left. I actually set an alarm. We hear that alarm go off. We are done with this challenge, brim challenge. And this reel, man, hopefully it's just something where maybe some sand got in it on my last trip. I didn't get it cleaned out. I kind of hate to even be using it now. Worried I'm going to screw something up, but like I said, I took apart what I could get to at the moment, and whoop, fish got my bobber, pulled it and let it back up. I'll adjust this camera. I don't know if you can see my bobber right out there somewhere, but I'm pretty sure he took the cricket. But I'm basically, you can see how I'm having to reel. I'm just having to put my thumb behind it and crank on it, and it's only, wish y'all could see that. There is a bass right there under the water, right there in the sunlight. I could probably zoom in with my big camera, but I don't have it right now. That bass is right under my bobber. I'm letting that cricket drift down, and something got it, and we have another fish on. Finally, we got another one on. Again, same species. He just turned that hook point back into my thumb a little bit. Same species. I think long ear, but beautiful colors on that fish. We're gonna drop him back down in that. Maybe the same one I already caught, I don't know. Whoop. We're gonna put him back in the water. Whatever he was, he just took it up and snatched it right out in front of that bass. And I thought that bass was gonna put the smack down on him. He kind of ran at him, but I think it was more of a, hey, what are you having to eat tonight? This reel, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. This is ridiculous, like how I'm having to turn it. And I'm mostly turning it that way. It's not that I can't turn it just by the knob, but I'm turning it that way just so I have some control turning it, because otherwise it's going to be so choppy. Like it's just making my bobber bounce up all over the water right now. Man, this is just so choppy reeling. Our bobber's probably gonna scare off any fish at this point. And I'm tangled up in a root now. Down here. You got it off. Okay. Well, we're gonna walk back down here to Snakeville. I saw that snake take off from under my foot. I think it was a small snake and it was moving fast, so I'm guessing maybe a black racer, something like that. Didn't see it real good, and it was a snake. That's all that mattered. All right, we put our bobber out. Thought it was jigging a little bit when it hit the water. Man. I think this same bass is cruising right here. Seems to be following me. Whoop, whoop, hey, hey, hey. Man, our reel just eased up a little bit. If ever there was something that was going to happen that would make a 1 hour challenge difficult, it would be a bum reel and trying to get crickets out of the tube. My goodness, I've struggled with that. Swing that one out there, see if we can get something. There's a little snag in the water just on the other side. Maybe there's something holed up on the other side of that. Just trying to get some more fish in. I cannot hardly reel this reel right now. Lord have mercy. Bait's gone. 3 minutes left of our challenge. 3 minutes left. We're gonna hop down here on the gravel bar, wait out just a little bit, see if I can kind of get this in another spot. Fun fact, I used to come down here and stand over in the middle of this little current seam here on the other side of this grass quite a bit and fish. I stopped doing that when I was standing out in the middle, and a copperhead came out of the grass on that side, swam right by my leg over into the grass on this side. So we're hoping that we're alone out here today and he's not down here. But it was really neat. I used to have either beavers or otters. One, I would see just a brown silhouette coming underneath the water next to me, and that was always really neat. Don't know what they were. I had that happen on several occasions, but there are beavers in this body of water here. Bait bobber's sitting too long. I'm not waiting. We're trying to get one more fish here, and we've only got about a minute to get it. So straight out from us there, and I hear the alarm going off. Okay, alarm's going off. 4:11. We have been fishing right at 1 hour, and vivid memories down here. Even the 5 years my wife and I lived on this property, I could walk down here anytime, cast a line, go fishing. Gonna get this chest clip off. I'm burning up. So again, North Alabama heat. You've heard me in a few other videos talking about North Mississippi heat. We're just trying to grind it out right now and see if we can catch a few fish. but in this hot weather. So came down here, tried things out, tried to see what I could do. 1 hour challenge, one rod. Unfortunately used one reel, a reel that malfunctioned on me. We're gonna go take a look at that, see what happened. Hey, I really hope you like these challenges. If you'd like to see me do other challenges, other baits, other locations, other target species, I will say this, I don't know much about fishing for anything other than brim or catfish, but other things you want to see, hey, drop a comment in the description. Let me know what you guys want to see. Trying to get the sun out. Yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. I'll be glad to try to put out some content, looking for fresh ideas all the time. We've got some new stuff coming up for you. We hope you're going to enjoy. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this challenge. We did the one bait, one rod, 1 hour challenge on a small creek with crickets. Unfortunately, we had that little malfunction going on with our reel. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, comment. It'll help my channel pop up in your search bar when you're searching for YouTube videos. But we're going to let you go. We'll catch you on the next cast right here on the J Line.